everyone, Hoosier Boo here, and I'm at the Powell Museum in Page, Arizona. This is a small museum. I believe it is based around one of the first white explorers in the region, John Wesley Powell. So hopefully this will be interesting. Let's go check this out. This is cool. These are some actual tracks of a three-toed dinosaur. I've never heard of what it's called, and I can't even pronounce that. This is a replica of the Emma Dean. This was a ship used by John Wesley Powell during his expeditions. But this replica was used in the Disney movie 10 Who Dared, which is about the Powell expedition. And this is about the Spanish expeditions before Powell. The Spanish were in this area. And there's a cool old wagon out here. There's like 2 time zones in this town. One's observed by the Navajo Nation. They observe daylight savings all year, and I've been really confused. Alright, starting off with some dinosaurs. There's some reptile tracks on there. So this is partly genuine. This is the skull of a Teratophonius, which was called the monstrous murderer. And here's a Tyrannosaurus leg cast. There's some U-Bronc tracks on that. I don't know what those are. This is a real rear foot bone of a Gypasaurus. And there's some teeth of one. That's interesting. That's a Gryptosaurus skin fossil. I don't think I've ever seen a skin fossil. Wow, so that's like how the scaly skin was. You can see it. And there's an ulna bone of one of them. And this is a Gryptosaurus skull that's mostly original. Apparently these things were about 35 feet tall. And this is an example of what the Navajo use to weave. They make like the most beautiful weavings. And that's how you grind corn. All these Puebloan pots and artifacts are about 700 to 900 years old. There's an Arrowhead Collection. And they have an example of a Navajo trading post. Stuff in here is actually for sale. I'm personally not a big fan of like arts and crafts, but I do actually like a lot of what the Navajo do. Except like earrings and stuff. Those are stupid. There's a basket. Wow. That's cool. That's the flag raising at Mount Suribachi on Iwo Jima. And that's a baby cradle. This is a really cool Ute ceremonial headdress. The Navajo make these Kokopelli wood carvings. Sometimes they have like unpronounceable names. They're interesting. And that's an old cash register. This was the switchboard used at the Glen Canyon Dam power plant from 1957 to 1964. And this photo shows when they were first starting to construct the Glen Canyon Dam. Here's some examples of area rocks and fossils. This is a model of the Carrendas expedition in 1540, which was a little bit after Cortez. And this is them on the south rim of the Grand Canyon. Aw, they're so screwed now. This is a map of the route of John Wesley Powell's expedition in 1869. It was 3 months long, and it was the first government-sponsored expedition in the area. The men in the expedition were some of the first white men to ever see the Grand Canyon. They pretty much followed the gorges in the Green River, so that's present-day Wyoming, and then down to here, the Colorado River Gorge. That's a bust of him. Powell ended up being a major in the Civil War, but in the Battle of Shiloh, when he was doing a command, he got shot in the arm and it had to be amputated. So he did one of the first expeditions to the Grand Canyon with one arm. Looks like this is the expedition Grand Canyon. You can see Powell there with one arm. That's his hat box. This is actually amazing. This is the bed frame of his deathbed. He died in 1902 at his house in Haven, Maine. And this is the actual bed frame. This was an animal skin stretcher that was used at Lee's Ferry, which was for a long time the only place you can cross the Colorado River. Here's some artifacts from Lee's Ferry. This is cool. This is an original 1911 Cole Brothers album. They were early photographers out here, and I have a video on their studio at the Grand Canyon. This is the scrapbook of Haldane Holmstrom. He was the first man to go on the Colorado River on a solo trip. Alright, so that was actually a very interesting museum. I love these small town museums. Seriously, when you go to small towns, just go to their little museums. They're always fascinating. But anyways, go check out my other Southwest and museum videos, as well as all my other videos, and thanks for watching.